Study basers. How you hold your bass and your posture is a very, very important part of your overall bass playing technique. So it's very easy to overlook, but it has a huge impact on how you use your hands, how hard or easy it is to play certain things, and how you do it can either lead to physical injuries or help you avoid them. Using a strap is a critical part of your technique. So a lot of good technique and habits just comes from using the strap and using it properly. So without a strap, your hands and arms have to do all this needless work just to support and balance the bass all the time. And your hands are going to have plenty to do as it is. So when you use a strap, the strap does all of that work for you. Now, earlier we said that one of our technique goals was consistency and accuracy. And a lot of that will come from just using a strap because it will keep your bass in the same place every time that you play. So never ever play without using a strap. Basses might weigh 8 to 10 pounds, so make sure you get a good strap. Narrow straps without any padding can be really uncomfortable, so they cut into your neck and your shoulder. Get a padded strap that's wider that distributes the weight across your shoulder better. Now that you've agreed to always use a strap when you play, we can talk about adjusting the height and the angle or the slant of your bass. So how you do that is going to make things much easier or much harder on you. And hopefully, if you do it properly, you'll have better access to all of the strings, to all of the notes on the fretboard. You'll be less tired when you play, and you'll avoid a lot of physical injuries. If your bass is horizontal, it puts the lowest notes further away, and those just happen to be the ones that we play the most often. So it makes it really hard to access that low string that you often play, and the lowest frets are further away, so your arm has to be outstretched the whole time that you're playing. Worse yet, it forces your wrists to bend at really sharp angles, and that's a contributing factor to hand injuries like carpal tunnel syndrome. By angling your bass, you solve all of these problems. So both of your wrists will straighten out, and then your arm gets to come in closer to your body where it can hang relaxed. And you have easy access to the low strings and the low frets of the fretboard. It also puts your thumb in a good position, but that's something we'll talk about in a coming lesson. So what you want to do first is adjust the angle of your bass, and then you can adjust your strap so that the height of your bass has both of your arms in a relaxed position. Your plucking hand arm should be relaxed at your side with your elbow bent. You shouldn't be reaching way, way down to play any strings. And your fretting hand arm should be relaxed at your side where you can easily reach the low frets and the higher frets. So on average, most people will find the bass body somewhere between their chest and their hips, and the headstock somewhere between their shoulder and eye level. Don't adjust your bass so low that your leg is constantly moving it around. For the sake of consistency, try to choose a height that keeps your bass in the same place when you're sitting as when you're standing. Most people sit while they practice, but I really encourage you to practice standing up as well, because at a gig you're much more likely to play standing up. So you need to be comfortable doing both. And it's also not very healthy for you to sit for those many, many hours that you'll be practicing. So try to switch it up. Make it a goal for your practice session to stand at least half the time. To sit and practice, you need a chair that has no arms because they'll get in the way of your bass. Better yet, I suggest perching on the edge of a stool. Why? Well, sitting in a chair causes a few problems. Sitting in a chair puts your leg at a right angle, and it's going to shift your bass over to the side or raise your bass higher compared to when you stand with it. So it's hard to get that angle that we talked of, and now your wrists are going to be bent again, and overall it's just like playing another instrument. If you perch on the edge of a stool, you can then angle your bass and extend your leg out so that it's out of the way. You can also find some unique chairs that are good for your posture and keep your leg out of the way. Something I regret not focusing on from the very beginning is posture. So posture is not just about looking good, It's something that affects your entire self. So, for example, your breathing is highly impacted by your posture. And you need to feed your brain and your muscles with oxygen so that you can learn and so that you can play the bass. So, try to make a good, strong habit of sitting tall and standing tall. And not just when you play, but throughout your entire day. I catch my students playing in all sorts of funky positions, and I don't mean the good funky. So don't practice like this: reclining, hunched over, arm on the leg, twisted, and the worst, no strap. You don't only want to study what great bass players played, like their notes and rhythms, but you also want to study their posture and how they held their instrument. So on the Study Bass lesson page, you'll find a lot of links to different pictures of great players and how they did it. Think of it this way: just as your bass needs to be properly set up, so do you. So, how you hold your bass, how you sit with it, stand with it, walk around with it, all of that affects your learning and playing. So ultimately, you are the musical instrument.